People love that stuff.
Nobody cares about us talking about PvP figures. 80% of people don't even know what the fuck that is.
They don't.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of 5 Idiots Talking Toys. I'm Shane, and we're here with our Sunday Night Collectors podcast, as usual. Thanks very much for joining us, either on YouTube in video form or on your favorite podcast app. We appreciate you. If you're here on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon, be notified of new content as it comes out throughout the week. We have our regularly scheduled Wednesday wins and whiffs of the week each week on YouTube exclusively. And we appreciate you just liking the video, commenting, letting us know what you thought. Let's bring the boys in now. John is here. Charles is asleep. Chris is drunk. Oh, no, he was just napping. And Brandon and John.
Charles, wake up. We're about to talk about some movies.
Actually, if Charles goes back to that position, all you saw was a mustache floating.
It looked like it was hovering above his lip.
I thought you would have had that thing shaved off by now.
I know.
Yeah. Amazingly, it has not grown.
I'm keeping it short. That's why.
So what's going on, boys?
Nothing. Ready for a nice, fun little topic?
You say you're ready, but you look like you're about to fall asleep.
Oh, well, it's 12 o'clock, so yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
we record this pretty much at the end of our Sunday night.
2.
Yeah.
Yes, pretty much. 4 of us have to wrap our lives all around Brandon's life. That he's 3 hours behind us. So
West Coast, West Coast, West Coast, West Coast.
It's like,
No.
how did I get dragged into this?
It's not me.
Sunny side, sunny side, sunny side.
It's not me. It's the fact that Shane eats dinner right before we record.
If we did it any earlier, it would be the middle of your dinner, wouldn't it?
I eat my dinner on the show. It doesn't matter.
That's so true.
You know how many
Sure.
Sundays I don't eat with my family? Every one of them.
Yeah.
That must be a great. That must be a great Sunday.
My daughter and I made sushi tonight. It was really good. I went to the fish market, got some sushi grade salmon,
Oh
got some
God!
seaweed paper, sushi rice.
Tomorrow he'll be throwing up. It's fine.
It was awesome.
disgusting.
There's a rule in the Wildminster house that if it comes out of the water, we don't eat it.
Oh, I eat every fish, salmon, anything. I just do not eat raw rolled fish.
No, my daughter's been eating it since she was like 2 years old. It's her favorite food.
I won't even eat fried calamari. I eat 0 fish. 0.
I don't eat that because it's octopus, but
Squid.
Brandon, is it?
Is it?
I've eaten live fish before. I used to live in Japan.
Oh God!
Yeah, definitely not eating live
When
fish.
you feel it moving in your mouth.
Oh,
I go out to dinner with my wife to like a restaurant, and I always get steak always, and she gets branzino, and she's like pulling apart this thing. It is like it's so disgusting. I always tell her, oh God,
Bronzino.
You don't know what branzino is?
no idea. I'm from Georgia.
Oh, that's why. It's basically
It's a white
like
fish.
it's like a white fish, but like sometimes it comes with like the head off, and then you just pick it, and then you pick it off the body, and it is so disgusting.
It's so good.
Oh, we call that cat food.
If you go to a Thai restaurant, you can get like sea bass, and they serve it that way too, with the head and the tail on, and you got to pick it all apart and everything.
No thanks.
Like
How mad do you think Charles is right now?
oh, he's so pissed.
Me?
He's so pissed.
Not mad at all.
Really?
He's
Yep.
not
But
bouncy.
the topic is not seafood tonight.
So I was going to tell you that actually when I go to steakhouses, I actually get a burger usually.
Oh God.
John, you might want to cut that out. That's embarrassing.
Isn't there like a meme that says you're the guy who goes to a steakhouse and orders a hamburger? I saw that recently. It's like
That's me.
the worst thing you could do.
That's me.
There's so many good cuts of steak. Why wouldn't you get a steak?
I'm not a big fan of steak.
But if you put it through a machine and pulverize it and put it on a bun, you're happy with that?
With ketchup, absolutely.
You put ketchup on steak too, don't you?
No.
Oh, okay. You don't? Do you use A1 sauce?
If there's nothing else, yes.
I grew up with A1, but then I found out that that's
okay.
Like trash.
What's our episode for tonight, guys?
I wanted to see how far we could go.
So did I.
All right, boys. So the episode tonight is it's an interesting question. When does collecting become hoarding?
Collecting, hoarding. Which one?
It's the same.
It sort of is, right? Like we're all serious enough collectors that it is a legit question from our wives or an outsider who doesn't collect, something like that. But within the hobby, there certainly any one of our wives would probably call it hoarding or people that don't collect. But in the hobby where we all are familiar with collecting, where is that line? Where's the line for each of us? We'll discuss that. We don't necessarily all agree, I don't think. We haven't talked about it yet, but I'm guessing we'll have some different opinions. Who has a thought to start us off with? One thing that jumped out, maybe let's just jump right into maybe army building. Is that a good starting topic? What is army building and where's the line drawn in your guys' head?
I think army building is a form of hoarding. I don't find anything wrong with you. If you want to buy 100 Yodas and have them all displayed or whatever, I would call that hoarding. But it's not hoarding like you have 50 of all 79 figures.
Right.
So if someone was let's just say a focus collector like John, I'm just going to use John for an example with the B-Wing. If he decides that he wants to have 300 B-Wings, I don't see anything wrong with that because he only collects B-Wings. But if he had 300 B-Wings, 300 Yodas, 300 Klaatu, 300 Nikto, and going down the line 300 of everything, to me that would be a form of hoarding, absolutely. But to just collect one figure because it's your focus figure and have that many, I don't see anything wrong with that at all. Because
it's different than army building. I think that's focus collecting. Army building to me means you want to buy a couple hundred Stormies because you want to put them in a diorama or something like that, right? Wouldn't that be what army building is?
Yes. I guess.
Correct.
Yeah,
No
I mean,
comment.
some
Okay.
people army build for different reasons. They might set up actual, like you said, dioramas or scenes. Some people literally line them up like it's an army.
Yeah.
Right? They rows and rows and rows.
When
I think with go ahead.
No, you go.
I was going to say, I think with anything, with army building or anything like that, and we've talked about this before, if you don't have a clear goal and you stick to the focus of that goal, it can get out of control.
That's what I was going to say.
Because then you get into, like Chris was saying, 300 Klaatus, 300 Yodas, 300 whatever.
I think. Sorry, I thought you were done, but you were belching.
Oh yeah, I'm done.
No, I was just going to say with any hobby that you do of any form of collecting, you have to have a focus. You have to have a line. There has to be something that you collect, because if you just say, I collect everything, then there is no line that you're not going to cross to get everything that has to do with that one topic. So for instance, for me, I like loose graded figures. I collect loose graded figures. That's my thing. You don't really see me going out and buying all sorts of mocks and stuff like that, because when it comes to mocks, I only collect also one set number of mocks, and I won't even buy or own another one. Whereas someone is collecting mocks, he's collecting loose graded, he's collecting baggies, he's collecting vehicles, he's collecting mailers, he's collecting bars of soap and shampoo and pencils and wallets. And it's like, where's the line? Like, you need a line for yourself.
Shane.
You need a line for yourself because
Quadfold.
how can
I was
you
just looking for the line in my office. I didn't find
exactly?
it.
But like, how can you ever sit back and actually just look around and go, well, when do I stop? Like, when's enough enough? You don't have a focus. You don't have a certain. There's no line. It just keeps going.
Well, the question on the screen is having 300 of the same action figure hoarding, in your opinion? If you're watching this on YouTube, please comment below. Give us your answer. What are your thoughts on army building?
I have 250, so no, not hoarding.
The answer is, of course it is, because you have to look at it from a person who's not a Star Wars fan, not a collector, just a regular whoever, and they see you have 300 B-Wings on your shelf. They're going to look at you and they're going to say, that's hoarding.
He has a problem. He has a problem.
Yeah, he has a problem.
Before they say that, they might say this person is psychotic.
To be honest with you, whether you have 300 Star Wars figures or 5 Star Wars figures, if someone comes in your house and sees 5 Star Wars figures, they're going to say, this guy's a loser. He has a problem.
There's something wrong with this guy.
Yeah, there's something wrong with this guy. So it really doesn't matter.
All right, so army building is an interesting topic because it's one of the lesser styles of collecting. I mean, it's prevalent, but most people don't go and get 100, 200, 300 of the same figure. So it's interesting. What else? Chris was talking a little bit about the different types of stuff that you collect.
I just think that everyone needs to have like a focus. It helps keep everyone on track of what you're trying to collect, because in any hobby you can get lost very easily and just go down so many rabbit holes, and then it's just like, it's, do you really want to look around your room and look over your right hand shoulder and see 3 bars of soap on a shelf? Like, I don't.
Correct.
Shane has just everything. Like,
well, yeah.
I wouldn't say he's a hoarder. I think he's just.
I would.
He's all over the place.
I would say that Shane is the example of a hoarder. Brandon is the example of a hoarder, and then me, John, and Charles are just like collectors.
See, the funny thing is you guys have probably so much more than I do. Like, quantity-wise, you guys have so much more than I do, I bet.
Shane, right behind you is how many shelves full of just, and I'm looking, they're not action figures. They're like a bar of soap. It's a shirt. It's a shirt from 1992.
This is hilarious to me.
You have a cup from Burger King. Like, you have stuff
what?
all over the place.
We should invite somebody who is not biased like all of us, because you guys are crackheads calling other crackheads crackheads. Okay.
Shane just left.
If you're looking at someone's collection and you see like graded pieces, loose pieces, mocks, oh, here's a bag of Lay's potato chips that's unopened from the 80s. Oh, here's a bar of soap. Oh, here's a bottle of shampoo. Like, to me, that's just like, all right, well, like, when's enough? Like,
somebody might look at an entire collection of graded items and be like, he's hoarding too. Like, I don't know. I think everybody here has got some kind of issue.
Hoarding is like also like a form of taking away from the public. No one's going to miss 3 Luke Farm Boys in my loose graded collection.
3? What about 1? You have 3?
Why do you have to have 3 of those?
Yeah.
Well, because there's brown hair, there's orange hair, there's orange hair.
There's the pot calling the kettle black.
Well, so
you have 3 bars of soap, Shane? How dare you?
The easy answer is I just collect what I like, and I have loose figures, like not loose graded, like loose figures, and then I have some loose ships, some play sets, So basically, I have toys. I have loose toys that have mostly been played with. And then beyond that, I have some, what we call oddball stuff, stuff that I remember having as a kid, the same the way that I had the toys. I had coloring books, or I had, like you said, shampoo, or the Burger King glasses, literally, that I drank out of. I mean, I like looking at that stuff.
Shane, I look at it like this. An action figure that you have of Luke Skywalker, you can't do anything with that other than you display it or you can play with it. Right. You are collecting a bar of soap. That is supposed to be used on your body. You're collecting like a pen. You're supposed to use it. It's a pen. That's why they made it. A folder, like all these things, a Leia Bush USB. Like, why even have that if you're not going to use it? It has a use to it.
All right, well, take the Leia out of it, because the Leia is a focus. So my focus with that is I will buy anything that was put out with her depiction on it as Bush, because there's a finite amount of stuff out there.
And I'm fine with that.
But it's not a main character and costume, and look. So I enjoy keeping my eyes out for items where there's even a picture of her in the background or something, and I'll buy that.
See,
I don't get it.
Shane says that he'll buy anything that he likes. And I'm okay with that, because I would love to do the same thing as you, but I would need 2 other houses. I would need millions of dollars, because I would just be buying everything, because I would just constantly be scrolling and saying, "Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that." And
there's limits with how
much
I
want to buy it.
Well, there's certainly limits with how much you're going to spend. I mean,
yeah, but when I'm scrolling and I see a bar of soap and I say, "Wow, that looks really cool," and it does look really cool. I just know that I'm not collecting that, so I won't buy it.
Right.
What are you going to do with it? You're going to have a 40-year-old old bar of soap sitting on a shelf. Like, what does that do? And say your focus is on it, and then she's on a rock and she's on a USB. Like, who cares? Like, why do you have to have all of those things? I don't get it. I just don't get it.
A rock.
My 7-year-old daughter painted me a rock. Because when she was, you guys have seen this, when she was a baby, my wife painted this, and it's been in my live sales.
Yeah,
So my daughter came to me over the summer and said, "I want to paint you some more rocks. What do you want?" And I said, I want Bosch, and I want Jabba the Hutt.
So that's a different story. Those you keep, but
those are hers.
And all the other things, it's just, I don't get it.
So
I don't get it.
I don't want to have to. I mean, obviously, it's not fun for anybody watching if I sit here and try to come up with a reason for all these things. But I will say this: another aspect of it that I didn't speak to before is I'm a graphic designer. I've done packaging design before, so that's big for me. When I see packages that I like, and it's related to other things that I like I love these packaging.
It just says her name, soap, and you see it through the blister.
Well, I'm seeing it with the eye of an artist or a designer or a package designer, and I like what they did here. So I like.
It looks like that was made 40 years ago, and they wrote words on the front with a clear blister and slapped a picture on the back.
Right. All right. Well, this isn't going to be fun for people to listen to, but I've worked in studios before, advertising agencies, where they just have products on the shelf that they help design the packages of, and it's nice to look at that nice work that was done. It's kind of like that.
So
Shane helped design the packaging for it.
Let's turn the attention over to Brandon. Just a really quick answer from the other 3 of you guys. Mm-hmm. Do you think Brandon is a hoarder? My answer is 100% yes.
Oh, 100%.
It's
correct.
It's fun to joke about and say, but we don't really know. He won't show us anything.
Like Shane said, it's fun to guess and to speculate, but I would say yes.
You know what we have to do.
And you want to, but why? So since we've never actually seen it, we've only heard about it, but why? What makes him? And the thing that makes him is he buys everything. He doesn't have a focus. He just buys anything he likes.
He's the same as Shane. Shane's level 1. He's level 10. Yes. He's at the top of the peak. So
I know.
I was selling something on Rogue 5, Brandon was
I love
MFing.
this.
Brandon was MFing this thing, saying that it looks like crap and this and that. You're not
garbage.
I list it. He messages me right after I list it and said, "Hey, can you claim that for me? I don't have it. I really need it."
It was.
Did he need
not MFing it. You can roll the tape. Your brother was. Your brother calls everything garbage.
Garbage.
And that was garbage.
So we run a sales page called Rogue 5 Toys, and I do builder boxes where I hold boxes for customers. Do you know that I have a box for Brandon at my house?
Yeah.
Brandon has a box at my house.
Guess how many things are in it?
It doesn't matter. How many things did I bring to you in April when I saw you in Tennessee?
So you have some inside knowledge on how much crap he has over there.
I only try. So I guess how I amassed this huge collection was because I tried to upgrade as much as possible.
And that,
so when I see something
and that's fine.
Really nice, I'll buy it. So then I'll have 10 or 15 of them, by the time it's done.
But you upgrade, you're supposed to be selling off the lesser, and you're not.
Well, because I want to have, 300 of each one.
Yeah.
Does this turn into an intervention?
No, I don't need that.
I can relate to Brandon though, because I have I'll tell you this, I have trays out of the figure cases under my desk, probably on both sides, of figures that are nice, that are probably upgrades for what I have on my shelf behind me. But I'm too lazy to sit here. I've done it before, and the next thing I know is 2 hours go by and I've looked at 4 figures. I'm too lazy to sit here and compare them with really closely and swap them out. So they're just sitting here. So I just have all of them, and I'm displaying only half of them or whatever. But it if you want to be meticulous, like I know Brandon is, you've got to sit here for hours and thin out your collection. And
it literally takes minutes.
Minutes.
I can go through all of those in minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Brandon's wife is yelling at him because she's listening to us.
It's like when you're out of room, it's like, all right, well, I'm out of room. So sorry, John.
John, do you have a pen?
Yeah.
I'm out of room, so it's I gotta move some stuff.
Well,
like today I listed a Akbar mock. I have 4 of those, and then finally, Chris, did I get one from you at ICC Con? Finally a nice clear bubble.
Clear bubble, yeah. Yep.
So I don't really need to upgrade from that. So I would sell all the rest.
So last week's Wins and Whiffs episode, you pulled out an R2 that you had sitting in a box in a drawer. You didn't even know you had it.
No.
Okay.
So is that the epitome of hoarding? When he has wins in his house in the middle of the week, not at a toy store, and he already owned them and didn't know he had them.
If you ask me, yes.
Yeah.
Especially when there's huge Darth Vader posters and holograms and whatever else is behind him.
Those are store displays.
Store displays.
I'm gonna say, in my opinion, once you're moving away from mocks, loose graded, mock graded vehicles, just a normal, all the toys, and you start to get the posters and the cardboard stand-ups and USBs and soap.
Wait.
And autographs.
I think.
Wait. So, a cardboard stand-up. You mean to tell me that if I got a Kenner Bell display with the figures on there, that would be hoarding? I'm moving away from the figures.
One thing. You have 75 pop-up cardboard things behind you.
I have 2. 2.
I know for me, I like the bells. I like the shelf talkers. I think those things are so cool. I would never buy one. And the only reason is because I just don't want to go down that path. It's just another hole. It's another way for me to go on my phone at nighttime, browse through, and go, oh, I'm bored. I want to buy something. Oh, here's another bell I don't have.
Let's say this.
Let me buy it.
Okay. Question for you: if you had I don't know,
This is not a good question.
a big room to display stuff in, like your own man cave, where it was like the size of your living room, let's say, right?
Okay.
And you needed a. You mean to tell me you're just going to have your 4D Tofts there with your acrylics and then that's it?
No, honest answer is I would collect all the mocks. I would go with the loose graded like I've been doing. I would do baggies and I would do mailers and I would.
Well, then, so what? How are you different than a hoarder then?
Because number one, you're telling me that
you're restricted by room right now.
I'm restricted by room right now, and I don't want to take it up with a bag of Lay's potato chips.
Well, there you go. You're a hoarder at heart. You just can't express yourself because you don't have the room for it.
I would agree with that.
I am definitely not a hoarder. Definitely not. Definitely.
So we managed to turn Chris. Charles is Charles. If you had a man cave,
hoarder at heart.
Me, I would have.
You have one display behind
figures.
you.
I hate mocks, so I would just have loose figures and whatever else. Maybe
you hate mocks, but you have a Ninja Turtle mock collection.
Yeah, because those are not the same as Star Wars. They actually
whoa, it's a different toy line. You're collecting a different toy line.
They actually made the blisters to actually last. Star Wars freaking blisters are like a half a millimeter thin, and they all break, they all yellow, they all crack. It's made to break.
Yeah, it's just what Playmates was thinking in 1988. Let's make these blisters to last 60 years. That'll be a great idea.
Hey, they do. And they're in a tray. It's all done right.
So the question on the screen is it hoarding if you collect just beyond the toy line itself? I think,
Correct. But it's not
I think
really
most people
hoarding.
will disagree with that, but
I disagree because Shane doesn't have 50 bars of Yoda soap.
No, but
50 bars of Princess Leia soap.
Shane has figures, folders, pencils, pens, USBs, mugs, ceramics. He has every single thing.
I'm going to agree. I will agree with Charles because you want to know why, Shane? There's no end. Where is the end? Where is the restriction where you say no? There is none. He wants everything of everything.
Well, no.
I have a restriction.
There's a finite amount of vintage items like that. If he was collecting, I can't help you with the USB thing, buddy. That's you're on your own there.
I explained it away. As part of
I can't help you there. But if you were collecting a finite amount, like I only collect Leia, Bouche, vintage items, and there's only one bar of soap you can have,
but there's things
one pencil pouch or one pencil, and then it ends there because they didn't make any more. But now you're doing USBs and bags of chips.
No bags of chips.
There's things that he needs, though. Like, he needs some of the pieces for his focus, but he's buying soap, and he's buying a USB, and he's buying a pencil. If he saved all that money, he would then, because he just messaged us recently, but I want to buy this thing. I can't spend $1,500. Well, you could if you didn't buy the folder and the pen and the soap and the pencil and the USB. You would have saved your money.
That's a budgeting issue, not a.
I can't reason spending that much money on any kind of a toy. I just can't do it.
Well, so
John's all business. That's a budgeting issue.
So hold on. Here's another example. So last week it was Halloween, and you go to Shane's house to ring his doorbell for trick or treating, and he comes out with a wicket belly as a candy ball. That's not hoarding.
He
really?
has everything.
You're talking about my Wicked statue?
His Wicked statue it's a candy ball.
Yeah.
That's not hoarding?
He doesn't have 15 of them.
But why do you need one of them?
Of course it is.
How?
Because
I disagree.
John, why does everything in his life have to be Star Wars? He needs a USB, a pencil, he needs a cell phone. Everything has to be.
He's wearing a Snoopy shirt. He's not wearing a Star Wars shirt. He's wearing a Snoopy shirt.
John, there's a line. He crossed it a long time ago. He's so far away from the line, he can't even see what a line is. If he walked backwards, he would probably go forwards. He doesn't know where it is.
Okay, I have a different definition of hoarding because I've been in people's houses, right, doing electrical work over the years, and there's this one guy that stands out to me. He lived in, doesn't matter where he lived, but close to here, and I walk into his house, and he has stacks of newspapers, and on his potbelly stove in his living room. You know what potbelly stove is, right?
Yep.
You guys, all right. So on his stove in the living room,
Everybody in Long Island has one of those.
No, we don't.
he had stacks of walnut shells, and then on his kitchen table he had stacks of broken eggshells, and then he had in another room I couldn't get through the bedroom door because there were stacks of magazines. That's hoarding.
That's definitely hoarding.
That is hoarding, but that is another severely form of hoarding.
John,
that is not a collecting. That's not collecting hoarding. That's just hoarding mentally. That's like mental hoarding.
John, someone's cracking an egg and saving the eggshell. I mean, obviously, there's something going on.
Amiss.
That's a little bit different. I don't.
Yeah.
Shane can do whatever he wants. Yeah, I'm just saying
we're not saying not to do it.
I'm just saying I think he crossed the line.
I'm completely surprised that I became the subject of this because I didn't picture that happening. I don't really think that I have that much stuff.
You can buy obviously anything you want. We can all buy whatever we want. I think there's a line there, and I think you crossed it, in my opinion.
That's fine. That's what we're sharing our opinions. That's perfectly fine.
What about one of our viewers, Todd B? He is a 2-1B collector, right? He probably has so many 2-1Bs. Every time I list one, Charles, anyone buys one, he always buys a 2-1B. Now, but that's all he collects is just 2-1B. So do I think he is a hoarder? Me personally, no, because he only collects 2-1B and 2-1B stuff. If he was buying tons of other stuff,
he's buying other. He's buys other mocks and stuff.
I'm gonna say he's over the line also, and he's a hoarder.
But he collects to some degree, like I do about Leia, because I know that when we were at the convention, he was buying a folder with 2-1B on it, and Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah,
I actually remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
so he does buy that stuff too. Yeah, it's focus figure on the item. Becomes part of the collection.
I have a focus figure. I have like multiple focus figures, and I don't have anything.
Well,
if I see them on a folder,
you safeguard yourself because there's not a Red Bar R5 on a toothbrush.
No, I have a TIE Fighter pilot also, and it can be on a USB or a folder or so. I don't want it. I don't want
two focuses, so you're a hoarder.
See, I agree with that because I don't like Yoda. He's my focus figure, but I don't buy Yoda like coloring books and pencils and folders.
Yeah,
with him on there.
You do what you like, but here, let me give my opinion real quick. I think if you have a collection where you cannot display a lot of it, like it's either just, and I'm not making a joke about where you have your stuff, like Charles stores some of his stuff in a closet or Brandon has drawers, whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I've seen people share their collections where you can't even see the stuff. It's just stacked on top of each other. Stuff is fallen down. I've seen basements where it's just piles and corners of vehicles and boxes and play sets and stuff is in cardboard boxes. You can't even see what's in the box. It's all stored, like storage. To me, that's not a collection. I mean, it is a collection, but only if you're like close to being able to put it somewhere where you can display it, like you're moving into a bigger house or something like that. If you're just collecting and sticking it in a box and you don't even remember what you have, that's hoarding.
Yeah.
I agree.
And we have a guy near us. Me and Chris were friends with him. He'll make a purchase from us, and he already has 7 of them, or 5 of them, or 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So he just buys it anyway, and he's like, "Yeah, I already have it, but I'll just buy another one."
And then his whole kitchen table at home is taken up with toys, and he gets yelled at because his kitchen table is full of toys. I'm like, well, what do you expect? Like, your kitchen table is holding toys. Like, yeah, that's hoarding.
So he's a hoarder, but there's like multiple levels to it. It could be like 1 through 100. He's probably 75. Like he's like really far off. Shane, you may be like 5. Like you're not 100, but you're right over the line somewhere, I would think.
Yeah, and I understand where you're coming from because I know that you wouldn't collect a lot of the stuff that that I have, but like stuff like the Sigma ceramic mugs, like, okay, there's a finite amount of them. I don't have all of them. I have ones that I've come across. I don't have the picture frames and the music box, and I'm not trying to get every single item they put out of Sigma. But
will you? So here's the thing: if one comes up for sale and it's a good price, would you buy it?
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Me, you can give it to me for $1 and it's worth $50. I wouldn't buy it.
I wouldn't buy it. I don't want it.
I don't want it. I could care less.
You know what another thing is there's stuff that I've bought that I thought would be good for a live sale or that I could, sell it and make a few bucks.
I agree with that.
And then, I end up sitting on it for a while because I'm lazy and I don't have a live sale or whatever. So it's like part of my collection, so to speak, for a little while. And then eventually I'll sell it. So there's that too.
I know for me, I actually get like anxiety when I look around in my collection room. If I see stuff just piled up like in a closet or in a box or whatever, I'm just like, what am I doing? Why do I have 300 TVC modern figures sitting in a collector's grade brown box that you can't even see the figure? What's the point of it?
So I just
hoarding.
So I just looked at mine this morning, and I have all these modern like ones in the brown boxes, and I'm like, what am I doing with these?
It's stupid.
Yeah. So wait a minute. So you have all these pieces of
I don't have that many
junk sitting in a box.
I do have some though. Yeah.
That's hoarding.
Please explain.
Yes, but they're all for sale. I'm getting rid of all of them. I just can't sell them. I can't sell them. No one wants them. No one wants them.
For sale also.
No one wants the junk.
Charles says they're for sale, but yet he has them in a box and doesn't know what he was doing with them. So what's the point? You're hoarding them.
That's fine. You can call me a hoarder. I don't care.
That's what I'm trying to say. Is that we're all with this disease of collecting and hoarding.
So we may have it, and I may have the sniffles, but you and Shane have 107 fevers, and you're on your deathbed.
I think we all.
And I'm all liquored up on it.
I think we all, to a point, understand where our levels are when it comes to collecting and how much we can collect and all that stuff, and we're able to pump the brakes a little bit. And like Chris was saying, he's like, what am I going to do with all this stuff now? So
I've bought very little for my collection in the last 6 months. I don't know about you guys. I mean, I know you guys have been adding stuff because you have, graded loose figure run that you're doing and stuff. But John, you haven't added much to your personal collection throughout the summer, and I haven't either.
I'm still buying weekly.
Yeah.
So am I.
Yeah, I haven't added much to my collection, but it's
I'm going to give
John's in a different spot because he's got a business now, and he's the same guy that is down the street. He used to have a collection himself, and now that he's got his own store, he doesn't collect anymore because it's too much.
I'm going to give Charles the perfect ammunition. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I bought this at the con in a room sale, and it's been sitting like on a shelf where I see it daily, but I bought it to sell in a live sale. I don't want to keep this.
I remember.
It's like sealed scissors.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's cool in the sense that I vaguely remember these in the store.
Cool. It's cool.
But I specifically bought it because it was a couple of dollars and I could put it up in a live sale.
Shane, is that cool? Yes. It's cool, but you want to push it onto someone else who has the disease worse than you. And you want to get it out of your house.
Yeah, like this is the perfect, I picked up a couple of items like this from room sales because...
And again, it's cool. It is cool. But like I said, if you just buy everything that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. You can be buying everything. Everything fits into the cool category.
Charles will disagree with you. Not everything is cool. But I mean, it's whatever just catches your eye, I guess. Like... I actually, you guys joke about pencils. I have a pack of pencils over there. I have no intention of keeping those. They do nothing for me for whatever reason. But I bought them because I know people like them.
Yes, but you're also, not to put you on the spot here, you're also a little disorganized also.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas me, like, I'm completely OCD and very organized with everything I have going on in my life. Very.
Every time I think like, oh, it'd be really great to like take like an hour and a half and organize a little bit. I'm just like, nah, I'd rather do something else.
Shane, we can organize your whole room in a few hours.
With a hefty bag?
Yeah. Well, not a hefty bag. A lot of pictures and a lot of listing.
Yeah. I'm kind of disappointed that things are down a little bit right now because I feel like I should maybe hold off a little bit in having live sales again. But at the same point, I do have like a couple of piles of stuff like that, a couple of boxes I want to get rid of.
I don't see those items not selling. All those items are still selling. People are still buying them, and pretty much for the same price.
True.
That's not gone down. We're talking about like the more expensive items that have probably come down. Okay. But like, I still think if you had a live sale on Rogue 5 Toys, it would be very successful.
Yeah. I'm going away next week, and I really do want to do that now that we're settling deep into the fall and everybody's going to be getting ready for holidays and stuff. Any other thoughts, guys, on things that you've seen? Let's now turn it to like things that you remember seeing, collectors setups that you remember seeing that made you think like, wow, that's like way beyond what I would consider like typical collecting.
Whenever you talk to a collector or someone's giving advice, the first piece of advice they always say is try and focus on something. Mm-hmm. Try and have like a theme. Why do they say that? Why? They say that so it doesn't get so it doesn't get out of hand.
Right.
That's why they say that. So when I see that guy Eric we had on our show and he collects all the oddball stuff, he collects all the oddball stuff, and that's great because he collects the oddball stuff. And he likes the Stormtrooper too. I don't think he's hoarding at all. I don't call that hoarding whatsoever because he loves all the oddball stuff and he has certain themes and focuses. He's just not like everywhere. And, when I look at Brandon, Brandon's everywhere.
Whoa. To me, Eric and Shane are one and the same. They both have focuses and they both collect all the oddball stuff.
Hang on, Brandon. I will crush you with this one thing. Uh-oh. At the ICC show, you bought a Kenner mailer box from Chris. You bought a cardboard box.
Yeah, so?
Where is that now?
Did he buy one? Or did he buy 30?
He bought a box, a cardboard box. What do you need to do? Who cares that Star Wars figures were shipped in this box? Who cares? Like, who really cares?
So here's the funny part about this whole thing, and I'm not going to go off topic, but I buy this large collection, and one of the pieces was this shipper mailer box. Do you know how many people reached out to me about this stupid box? Yeah. I was blown away by people.
People love the box. They're more rare than the figures.
No one wanted Boba Fett debut card. No one wanted the Luke 12 back. Everyone wanted this stupid shipper box.
You know why? Because they're more rare than the actual toys, because they were thrown out.
Rare.
My God.
And it was an Empire Strikes Back box too.
Stuff like that to me, it was just like it's
Stuff like that you would
crazy.
own if you had a bigger room. I know
That's
you would.
over the line.
No.
Who cares about a shipper box, Brandon?
Well, actually, hold on, Brandon. Can I grade it from CAS and AFA?
Can
Probably.
you imagine
Yeah.
the size of that acrylic?
Then maybe I will.
The box isn't even that big. It wouldn't be that big.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about. You're right. Eric has focus on stormtroopers, on like sealed play sets, I think, and oddball.
And his collection is very clean.
Yeah.
He wants to look for something. He knows where everything is.
He's
It's
got
all
stuff in the closet.
organized.
He's got stuff in the closet.
Yeah, it's organized and it's clean.
In my opinion,
it's all set up.
He's over the line and he's a hoarder. He's not up
Not-
here, but he's a hoarder, of course. Send in a regular civilian who doesn't know Star Wars right into his room, and they go looking around at all of his stuff. They're gonna say,
Yes.
he's a hoarder.
No,
Yes.
they're
All right.
gonna say he's a fan.
You got to look at it from someone else's perspective.
The collector.
Every one of us is a hoarder.
Yeah.
So let's use a real world example. So Uncle Victor came to the con, and
Okay.
he was like wide eyed and like, what? But, a little bit of like, what the hell is going on here? All these grown men like collecting this stuff, and then 3 days later, he's like home and already starting to buy everything he can get his hands on.
Yeah.
So
but
he's now a full blown collector. Is that correct?
He's pretty focused though,
He's-
just on loose graded.
and
Okay.
and like me and Charles have told him, stick to something and stay with it. So he is only doing loose graded figures.
But I'm saying, which is fine. But I'm saying like he went from somebody who didn't collect to going, wow, this is like almost too much to take in, to a week later being a collector. Like he got sucked in. He realized he liked what liked all this stuff, the history, the memories, blah blah blah. So it's, you get sucked into it, is my point. We all started somewhere.
Of course.
Some of us collecting longer than others, but you get sucked in at some point. Also, at some point, you might have a focus. You run out of things to collect there. Like I said, in terms of the actual toys, I've gotten very little over the last, forget about 6 months, like 9 months. And so some of this oddball stuff is just, just little things here and there that I can
So
add that I like.
I
Yep.
can cure
Feeding.
your thing on if you're a hoarder or not. Shane, McDonald's comes out with a new Star Wars Happy Meal, and Leia Bouche is on the cheeseburger wrapping. It's the wrapper that goes around the cheeseburger. She's not on anything else. She's just on that wrapper. You stop into McDonald's, and the guy behind the counter says, "I'll hand you the sheet. I won't even fold it around the cheeseburger. Would you take it?"
You would absolutely take it.
I have no idea what I would do with it though.
No, I know,
That's
but
Frame it.
Yeah, I know Brandon would say. Frank.
So me growing up as a kid and getting into Power of the Force, with the Power of the Force line, I went to Taco Bell. I got the wrappers. I got the cups. I went to Pizza Hut. I got all the cups, the little spinny things with the advertisement on. I got the bags of potato chips. I got the bottles of soda. I got every little piece of advertisement that came out with the Power of the Force 2, and when they re-released the Star Wars movies in the theater in the late 90s. Every little thing. So when you walked into my room, I'm 13, 14, 15, 16 years old. Yeah, I had all that stuff laid out in my room. Was I a hoarder? 100%.
Yeah. I thought you were going to go. I wasn't sure where exactly you were going to land. You said rapper, but I thought you were going to say her picture was on the Happy Meal box. And then I was going to say, oh, yeah, absolutely. I would take that.
No,
I
because
display the box on my shelf. Yeah. The wrapper's
What-
hard to do, but
When he said that, it actually like made me think, because I remember Taco Bell when they came out with it, they had a different wrapper for the soft taco, the hard taco, the little bag of nachos. I had all those little things. I had everything.
look at Brandon's face.
Yeah, hoarder. I'll give it to you, hoarder.
Listen, Brandon, if they had Yoda on the cheeseburger wrapper, you would go to McDonald's and you would get that wrapper.
No, because I told you I don't collect the oddball stuff with Yoda. I don't like it. The only oddball thing I have with Yoda is the button that Chris gave me at the first ICC con, because he gave that to me as a gift, but that's the only thing that I have that's oddball from Yoda that is not an action figure.
I gave you a button?
Yeah.
A gift?
Sealed button.
What did I give you? I honestly have no clue what you're talking about.
I gotta find it somewhere in a drawer. But
That's an episode.
I don't
one of the drawers.
I don't remember this at all.
when I bought that Letty Vader from you, you gave me a Yoda button.
Oh, yes,
There's a
yes,
Yoda button.
yes.
That's the only other Yoda thing that I have. That's a thing. I don't collect anything else that's Yoda related, because I just don't want to get down that. If I had tons of room and displayability, I would probably, but I just don't have room for it, and I just don't. I don't care for folders and notebooks and pencils and soap, and I don't know. I like the toys, because that's what I had as a kid. I never had any of the other stuff. So
I find
like
that a little
action
bit
figures.
odd, because I feel like majority of people that have a Focus figure do have other paraphernalia, other stuff that has that figure on it, but Brandon doesn't, so maybe I'm wrong.
The only reason he is a Focus, remember I told you guys, he's not my favorite character in Star Wars.
Right.
My favorite character in Star Wars is probably Han Solo. But it's not, Han Solo's, the mocks and all that are way too expensive to collect all those. But the only reason why Yoda is my Focus figure is because there's so many different variants and so many different colors you could get with him.
Yeah.
Which is why I like to collect the multiple variants and the multiple colors. But Han Solo, or like Charles's TIE Fighter pilot, there's only a few different variants, meaning a few different companies that made it, and they're all the same. So it's not like one's like gray and one's black, and he would collect the different shades of gray or something. That's why I like the Yodas, because there's different shades of green, and there's different degraded snakes.
I believe there's 50 shades of green.
like John collects the 16 faces of the B-Wing.
Right.
Because there's 16 different faces.
Well, if that was actually real, then yes.
If my figure was Han Solo, I don't think I'd have the same mindset of trying to find stuff that has his face on it or his figure on it. It's just the fact that the Leia in the disguise is not a main character, so there wasn't as much merchandise that had that costume on it. So that's why I like to. It's almost like a scavenger hunt trying to find that stuff. If you see something that you hadn't seen before, it's exciting to find. So last question. Let's wrap this episode up. The question I have is for the collectors who are watching. If you have a Focus figure, do you collect other stuff with that figure on it, that character on it, in that specific, outfit or, whatever version of that character? Do you collect other stuff, or do you just collect the figure, the vintage figure? And that goes for any toy line, really. If you collect turtles, do you collect, if your figure is undercover, Raph or whatever it is, do you collect other stuff with that figure, that character on it, or just the figure itself? So let us know in the comments. We appreciate you hanging with us on another Sunday night or whenever you're watching this episode. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel, like this video, hit that bell icon. We'll notify you through YouTube of new content. Please comment. Let us know what you thought of this topic. Do you consider yourself a collector? Have you crossed into hoarding? Where do you draw that line? We want to hear your feedback, and we appreciate you listening to us either on your favorite podcast app or here on YouTube. We will be back on Wednesday with our Wednesday Wins and Whiffs of the Week, and each Sunday night with a new topic. All right, boys, another fun night. thanks for hanging, and we appreciate everybody listening here on 5 Idiots Talking Toys.
Bye.
Hoarding.
Bye. Go check out our
Happy hoarding.
check out our merch shop.
5idiotstalkingtoys.com.
Hoard some merch.
Merch.
Don't besmirch the merch.
Charles just left.